And welcome back to Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Hometown Today is presented by Professional Floor Covering, your store for floors and so much more. Whether you're dreaming of brand new cabinets and countertops, stylish new flooring, or luxurious shower or tub, Professional Floor Covering has everything you need to transform your space. When it comes to countertops in your kitchen or your bathroom, the material, the color, the pattern, they all play a big role in how your project or kitchen or bath remodel is going to turn out. And so at Professional Floor Covering, they offer a huge selection of countertops. You can choose from quartz, granite, marble, and laminate countertops, tons of patterns and different colors as well, and they will help you find the perfect countertop to fit with your design. Professional Floor Covering, 713 Park Avenue in Beaver Dam, online at PROFLR.com. Well, Wednesday this past week, not so pleasant weather-wise, but looking like it's improving again. Had some melting going on yesterday. Looks like today might help with the rest of it. And before you know it, it's going to be time to get out there and hit the links. And we invite you to join us for the For the Kids golf outing to benefit the Good Karma Brands John Moser Children's Radiothon. It's happening Friday, May 30th at Old Hickory Golf Club here in Beaver Dam. Registration is at 11, shotgun start at noon. It is $350 for a team of 4. That includes 18 holes of golf, 2 carts, and lunches for each player, with all the proceeds going to benefit the Children's Radiothon. You can, if you're interested, get your team signed up. Obviously, space is limited, so don't wait too long to register your team. You can find a registration form on the Radiothon page at DailyDodge.com. Just go to Radiothon, click on Radiothon events. You'll find all the info for the golf outing. You can download the registration form. You can either mail that in or drop it off here at the studios at 100 Bill McCullum Way in Beaver Dam, and then you can pay via cash, check, or Venmo. And we'll also, if you're not a golfer, still join us out at Old Hickory on May 30th. We'll have a 50-50 raffle going on. We'll have some fantastic raffle baskets as well. It's going to be a great time. All the details available on the Radiothon page at DailyDodge.com. And speaking of the Children's Radiothon, one of our great partners on the Children's Radiothon is PAVE, and they are hosting their big 5K Run to Protect coming up on Saturday, April 5th, the big run-walk event. Registration opens at 9 a.m. The run-walk starts at 9:30. It is just $25 per person, and that includes the shirt, and of course it all goes to benefit PAVE and some of the great services that they provide here in the Beaver Dam and Dodge County areas. That is coming up Saturday, April 5th. You can check out PAVE's website or their Facebook page for all the info and a link to register. When we come back, we will visit with the Beaver Dam chapter of the American Association of University Women. We'll learn a little bit about their organization, get to know some of their staff there as well, and talk about a really great upcoming event later this year that they are putting on. That's all when we come back on Hometown Today from 95.3 WBEV. Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Hometown Today is presented by Professional Floor Covering, also brought to you by McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam. Well, we are happy to welcome in our next guests on the show here today. We have joining us a couple of folks from the American Association of University Women here in Beaver Dam. And in a few minutes, we're going to talk about what exactly that organization is and what it's all about. But we have joining us Bobby Mark, president of the local chapter of AAUW. Andrea Utri is here. She is the vice president. And Annette Camps joins us as well. She is the chair of the Unity in Community. So great to have all three of you joining us here on the show today.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Glad to have you guys in, and we wanted to get the AAUW in because March is Women's Month, and we've been celebrating around here too with some internal things, and so we thought, boy, what a great match for Women's Month as far as one of the stronger women's organizations here in the Dodge County area. And so before we get into too much, let's talk a little bit about AAUW and help explain a little bit about, give us a little bit of history first and how long it's been around and what it looks like today.
Okay, thanks, Cale. Well, AAUW is an international organization, and our mission is to advocate for gender equity for women and girls through education, research, and advocacy. And this has been going on since 1881.
Wow.
So they started 142 years ago, or 44 years ago, and they've been growing ever since. And they take a many-pronged approach, but their three biggest sort of areas of effort is they raise money for students, mostly graduate students. They've given out over $100 million in fellowships and grants to over 12,000 women in 130 different countries, all aimed at allowing these young scholars to continue their education and complete their degrees.
Okay.
So they're a huge, one of the largest scholarship organizations on the planet.
Okay.
So education is really important to them.
Yes.
Let's talk a little bit about the Beaver Dam chapter in particular. How long has that been around, and talk about some of its efforts?
Our local group has been around 92 years. None of the three of us were original members.
I wouldn't have guessed.
Thank you. A couple of our original members included my aunt, Phyllis Nagler, who led MPTC for quite a while. We also have members that have been with us for 50 years, right? One is Case Telflug. A lot of people probably recognize that name.
Yeah.
We have different activities. We have a regular meeting every month that features a speaker or activity, and those have been phenomenal through the years. And we also have two book clubs, one in the morning, one in the evening, that are greatly attended. And we've had a variety of books that we use based on history, current events, classics, bestsellers, self-improvement. And we try to fit in those categories every year when we select the books.
Okay.
So those are some of our current activities, as well as a very popular October fundraiser, the basket auction. And that's where we primarily raise our funds for the women's scholarships.
Okay.
And we have our members attending, and many of them bring multiple guests, and we certainly appreciate all their support through the years.
Speaking of members, can you speak a little bit to who would be welcome and encouraged to be a member, and what does membership entail?
Currently, there is an ongoing discussion within the national organization. The requirements to be in AAUW from the beginning have always been to have a 4-year college degree. Back, maybe 60 years ago, they changed that to be a 4-year or 2-year degree.
Sure.
And for the last 5 years, there's been a lot of discussion and a lot of sort of wrangling within the organization, because a large percentage of the membership feels that anyone who supports our mission should be allowed to join, that you
Sure.
shouldn't have to have that degree requirement. So that is an issue that the national organization will be voting on in the very near future. I would expect that degree requirement to go away
Okay.
within a year or two. But until then, on the local level, while you can't technically be a member without a 2 or 4 year degree, many of our programs are open to the public.
Sure.
And we encourage anyone, regardless of gender or educational attainment, to
Sure.
Enjoy our programs. And we also, our members are always allowed to bring guests to all our programs. And so we do have some members who have friends who would be wonderful additions to our chapter, but they just don't happen to have a 2-year or 4-year degree. 4-year degree, so they come as guests of a member to all our meetings.
Okay.
So, there's a couple of options, but we're changing. The organization
Sure.
is evolving, and I think that's going to change soon.
Yeah. Speaking with a couple of the folks from AAUW Beaver Dams chapter, we've got Bobby Mark, Andrea Utri, and Annette Camps with us here on Hometown Today. Lots more to talk about with them. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll visit more and learn a little bit more about some upcoming events and hear a little bit more of their stories as well. That's coming up on Hometown Today from 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
Floor covering, bringing together friends and neighbors on Hometown Today on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
And welcome back to Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Hometown Today is presented by Professional Floor Covering, also brought to you by McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam. We are joined with a few of the representatives from the American Association of University Women Beaver Dam chapter. We have with us President Bobby Mark, Vice President Andrea Utri, and Chair of the Unity and Community Committee, Annette Camps. And again, we were excited to have you on as kind of a way to celebrate National Women's Month. And as part of that, there's some events coming up that we want to talk about. But before we do that, I wanted to just go around the table and kind of have each of you share a little bit about your story, your background, and then how you got involved in AAUW. So I'll start right to my right here with Bobby.
Well, I got involved the way I think most of us get involved, is that I had a good friend who was a member, and she invited me to come to a meeting, and I went, and I just really enjoyed it. And I looked into the organization a little bit, and I discovered this fabulous organization that's been around a very long time, has been very influential in promoting women's equity and moving women forward, and so I joined.
And I'm sure a lot of folks know, but in case anybody listening or watching doesn't, Bobby, you are obviously the mayor here in Beaver Dam, but you also come from an educational background. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I was a social studies teacher here in Beaver Dam for over 30 years. Loved my career, couldn't have asked for a better situation. And then when I was able to retire, I got interested in city government, kind of connecting the social studies. So I've been involved. I was on the city council for a term before running for mayor and winning the election last November.
And if a certain radio host doesn't seem like he remembers much about history, you can talk to Bobby about that one. We were just chat about that. It was great having Bobby back in high school. Andrea, share a little bit about your background and how you got involved with AAUW.
Well, I first started my career teaching in middle school. Oh boy, in Watertown. Then took a bit of a sabbatical while we raised 4 kids, and I worked in an executive position in Madison outside of education for a while. And then I came back to teaching. I coordinated the Teen Mom program in Beaver Dam. And then from there, I got certified for working with at-risk students, and I spent the last 10 and a half years in Waupun as a teacher and coordinator for their alternative school.
Okay.
I came into AAUW. I mean, I'd heard about it over the years, newspaper articles. I saw their activities, and I knew some of the people in it as well, and just decided that was a good match for me for socializing and being an activist in the community.
All right, very good. That is Andrea Utri. She is the Vice President of the Beaver Dam chapter of AAUW. Annette Camps is here as well. And Annette, I know obviously you've been involved in a lot of things in this community, but share with us a little bit of your background and how you ended up getting involved with AAUW.
Well, I've been in Beaver Dam a lot longer than these two. I came here as an English teacher in 1960, and I realized in many ways that I loved teaching, and then I advanced through the years. That we had a family of 4 also, and took a little leave, and then got involved into other teaching opportunities, ending up as a director of an art program called Project Aware for the schools, and then as public information director for the schools. And then my longtime interest in theater developed into finally a managing director position for our community theater and also executive director of the Arts, Beaver Dam Area Arts Association, both at the same time. All of those things took up a lot of time, but I was always aware of how wonderful AAUW was from the very first. In fact, Elaine Altimus Poseen, who was sort of my mentor when I started teaching here and was quite a leader in her own right, she influenced me a lot, and I was therefore aware of AAUW and realized that their mission was something I was really interested in. So several of my friends had joined over the years, and finally, at the completion of my retirement from that double-duty job, I decided I really wanted to focus on being a member of AAUW. I admired their admission and their programs, and as Bobby and Andrew have said, all the bonuses for being a part of the larger community. That's always been my interest in, I think, teaching takes up so much time. You get to know students, you get to know parents, but finding opportunities to expand your understanding and love of the community is very, very rewarding.
It's so, first and foremost, Annette may be downplaying her involvement in the arts in this community a little bit. There's a reason it's called the Camps Auditorium at the Beaver Dam Area Community Theater. But it's really, really fascinating here talking to the three of you. It's the American Association of University Women, and obviously meaning these are women who have had a post-secondary education. But it's really interesting that all of your careers have also tied back to education and working in education. It's just fascinating how that ended up. Do you find are there other members too that have these kind of consistent ties to education?
The short answer is yes. The bigger answer is, the reality is that for women our age and older, for a very long time there were not a whole lot of other career opportunities that were readily available, that nursing and teaching were considered, and being secretaries. Those were the three appropriate career paths for women for a very long time.
Sure.
Now, I personally didn't feel that. I came from a family of teachers, and I've always loved education, but our membership does lean heavily towards people who were involved in education in their careers. And but we also have, we have former accountants and lawyers and all kinds of other people too.
All right, very good. And there's a couple of events coming up we want to chat about. We are up against the clock, so we're gonna touch on those. I want to make sure we give those plenty of time to talk about. So we're gonna touch on those coming up here after the break. We are visiting with Bobby Mark, Andrea Utri, and Annette Camps with the AAUW Beaver Dam chapter. We'll visit more with them when we come back on Hometown Today from 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
It's Randy from Professional Floor Covering, bringing you Hometown Today on your hometown station, 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.
Welcome back to Hometown Today on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge. Hometown Today is presented by Professional Floor Covering, also brought to you by McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam, who invite you to stop in and discover their power lift chair recliners. They've got the largest selection in Dodge County, ready and available for delivery. With the touch of a button, these chairs can lift you to a standing position or recline you to a comfortable nap. You can even get a lift chair with heat and massage or adjustable headrest and lumbar support. Some models even have cup holders and wireless phone chargers. There's a variety of sizes in stock, from small all the way up to the big mans, with prices starting at just $699. And don't worry about the power going out, because the lift chairs come with a battery backup. Delivery's free, so if one of your loved ones needs a lift chair in their room at an assisted living facility, McKinstry's will get it delivered, all set up and ready to go. They're also a lift chair service center. McKinstry's Home Furnishings in downtown Beaver Dam. Use the entrance in the tower parking lot, which is handicap accessible. We are joined with the American Association of University Women Beaver Dam chapter. We have Bobby Mark, Andrea Utri, and Annette Camps with us, joining us, and talked a little bit about AAUW. And there's a couple of events coming up that we want to talk about. And Andrea, we're going to start with you with one that's a little closer on the calendar, and then we're going to get one a little bit later on in the year.
Okay. I'm excited about the April program. It will be April 16th, 6:30 p.m. at Landmark Credit Union. We appreciate their donation of the space. It's called Guns to Garden Tools. And no matter what your position on gun ownership, I think we're all concerned about school shootings and random tragedies of that sort. Our presenter is Jeff Wild. He's from Madison, originally from Beaver Dam, and he was an ELCA Lutheran pastor for many years. His impetus for presenting this program is, unfortunately, he had to bury a number of his parishioners due to gun violence. He decided his initiative would be, first of all, as a retired pastor, learn how to do blacksmithing. So he took several courses on that, and he had some very good mentors in that area. Then he connected with somebody with a wooden lathe, and people now at specific events bring guns they no longer want in their house for a variety of reasons, and Jeff turns them into garden tools. He makes trowels, and he makes a little Reiki thing. I don't know what that's called.
Yeah.
And they are very sturdy. The money he makes from that is all donated to a nonprofit. He has traveled all over the country, but mostly in the Wisconsin area, to do presentations. He's done everything from at schools and churches to city halls, chambers of commerce, and other community-minded organizations. The presentations are usually about an hour, just to relieve any anxiety people may have. There will not be any guns on site. Okay. There will be one garden tool that will be given to us through a donation, and that we'll have a drawing at the end of the presentation. Fantastic. And they are beautiful tools. I'm sorry I didn't bring one along. I should have. Jeff graduated from Beaver Dam High School, and I'm proud to say I'm his sister.
Okay.
As he would say, my much older sister. Love that guy. So we're happy that he's doing this program, gratis for us, and will bring us a wonderful secular message about how we can address the tragedy of gun violence.
All right, and if you want to just remind everybody the date, time, location of that one.
Right. It's Wednesday night at Landmark Credit Union on April 16th, and will begin at 6:30.
All right, very good.
This is open to the public. I want to emphasize that.
Yep. And it's a free event as well,
Yes.
I imagine. Yep, no cost to get in. So definitely check that out. And then coming up later this year, AAUW is working on a really big event, a multi-day event. Let's get into talking a little bit about that, because it's really, really neat, some of the things that are going to be happening.
Yes, there is a lot. And we have a wonderful committee and support from AAUW to make it happen. It's sort of a result of a process that's been happening as AAUW several years ago as they are actively addressing opening up the membership. At the same time, we're giving charter groups the opportunity to create a directive in terms of more community education and awareness and the subject of inclusion. And so for the last 3 years, our Unity and Community Committee from AAUW has offered special programs in collaboration with the community library where we choose a book as a summer read that addresses some of the issues that are current and not political, and it's been open, encourage the entire community to participate with a culminating program that I think WBEV has covered. And the speakers are renowned authors or informed panelists who address that subject with the public. So we have expanded on that this year. We saw an opportunity in that John Knowltner, who is an internationally recognized, award-winning photojournalist, author, peace advocate, is from Beaver Dam. And we discovered that he is traveling all over the country. I think he's covered, like he said, 90,000 miles all over the country and in some countries, international countries, presenting his photo gallery of beautiful photos that he has included in 3 or 4 books, all addressing people's understanding, their personal understanding of peace and belonging. So he has converted all of that experience into these books, and as I said, is now going across the country bringing those experiences and storytelling. He's a great storyteller. So we have asked him to do a residency here for a week. He has done those again, wherever, for many, many years. He and his wife decided to make this their priority, and they sold their house several years ago, bought, some kind of a big mobile home,
sure.
RV,
Recreational vehicle.
and just travel to each of these sites to do these residencies. And he just is coming back from Ireland, going back again to help with the resolution of peace in that country. So he's pretty amazing. So he will be here from September 14th through September 20th, and to be inclusive as we possibly can to share all of his storytelling and his experiences and his inspiration. We have enlisted 10 different entities in the community to participate in and receive his programming, which involves workshops, classes, photo sessions, whatever people choose. He has a broad range of subjects that he can address within that experience. So I'm going to list right now the entities that are going to be involved.
Yeah.
It's very, very exciting, and I might add that a number of the activities will also be open to the public. So it's community-wide. Our mission is to get as many people involved as possible. So right now, Art on the Town, the BDACT Fine Arts Center, or BDACT, the theater organization, the Beaver Dam Area Chamber of Commerce. They're going to have a breakfast and get a tour of the photo gallery. The Beaver Dam Community Library, the Beaver Dam High School, the Beaver Dam Middle School, Dodge County Center for the Arts, where the exhibit will be located permanently for that week, the Moraine Park Technical College, the Playground Movement, Wayland Academy, Watermark, WBEV and their support of us, and as I said, the general public. So we're really excited. There's a lot of work ahead. our committee's already done a lot of work. We're in the process of scheduling programming for all of these entities and other possibilities for the public. There will be a concluding keynote speech at the end where John will present photos that he's taken throughout the week of representative community members from all walks of lives who will address our local theme, belonging, unity, and community. And so he's going to put a video together the Friday before this program that will represent our community and our take on that theme. So there's a lot ahead, and we are, there is a cost, of course, there's a budget, and we're reaching out to a variety of community entities, and we've received funds from Beaver Dam Area Community Foundation already and others. So we're reaching out to help us support that program.
Sure. And again, if you just want to throw the dates out there for that.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's September 14th through the 20th.
All right, very good. And if folks want to keep up with anything else that we missed or we didn't get to touch on about that big upcoming event in September?
Well, I could just highlight a little bit more that
Sure.
The photo exhibit will be open to the public at the Art Association, and there will be 1 or 2 tours with John. And then that presentation at the end will be open to the public, and there will be other opportunities to watch for information over the summer and so on to get more of the detailed schedule that we're working on. And Andrea has her hand on his latest book, which is beautiful, Lessons on the Road to Peace. And it's beyond words, how he captures the character of the people he interviews and the stories that they tell. It's so totally inspirational. And as he says, let's see if I can find that quote. In a world that asks us to focus on the things that can separate us, his program invites us to explore the common humanity that connects us. What could be a better purpose for us right now? And it definitely is education and awareness. So, yeah, we're excited.
All right, very good. Well, looking forward to that. And if people want to stay up to date on some of the activities as more of the plans come together, or just want to learn more about AAUW and the work you guys do, where can folks find you?
We are on Facebook at Beaver Dam AAUW, and we also have a website, AAUW Beaver Dam. So.
All right, very good. Bobby Mark, president of the AAUW Beaver Dam chapter. Andrea Utri is vice president, and Annette Camps is with us. She's the chair of the Unity and Community Committee. Thanks so much for coming in today and sharing a little bit about AAUW, and we look forward to having you on again sometime in the future. We'll certainly have you on before the September event and run through a more detailed list of some of the things that are planned. So looking forward to that, and enjoy your weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Gail.
We appreciate your support.
Absolutely. That is going to do it for Hometown Today here on 95.3 WBEV, presented by Professional Floor Covering, your store for floors and so much more. And you know, with floors in their name, when it comes to flooring, they are going to have a great selection. A lot of different type styles and brands to choose from there, including a fantastic lineup of carpet, so many different colors, patterns, material choices, plus a great selection of hardwood, laminate, and LVP tile and stone, and they do custom area rugs. And of course, Randy and his team are great. They'll come out to your home, get everything measured up for free, get you a free quote. They can provide different suggestions on types of flooring. And if you know you want new floors, you're just not even sure where to start, stop into their showroom because you're sure to find some inspiration there. 713 Park Avenue in Beaver Dam. Give them a call at 920-887-9972 or visit them online at PROFLR.com. Don't forget, coming up next, we've got Senior Solutions with Higher Insurance Services. And at 12:35 this afternoon, it's Community Comment featuring State Representative Mark Bourne and the Badger men's basketball team dancing on into the second round of the March Madness tournament. They take on BYU tomorrow night. We'll have the game for you right here on 95.3 WBEV. Pre-game coverage begins at 5:30, tip-off at 6:30. Don't miss all the action right here on 95.3 WBEV, powered by Daily Dodge.